when you're allowing, being to speak through your mouth. It was very interesting and very funny process.
Welcome to the Orykl Podcast, where spirituality, inspiration, and education come together. We have 3 playlists. In Spiritual Stories, we explore profound moments in personal spiritual journeys. In Spiritual Entrepreneurship, we share insights to help spiritual practitioners and their businesses thrive. And in Spiritual Leadership, I offer my perspective on leading with authenticity and heart. Welcome to the Orykl Podcast. Today, I am talking to Sebastian Dackow, who is one of our wonderful vetted channelers on the Orykl platform. He's from Poland. And I'm just going to quickly read his intro that's on the Orykl page. Sebastian's journey into channeling began in childhood when he persuaded his father to buy him a pendulum. In 2007, he began serious work with Reiki, eventually becoming a Reiki master. His spiritual journey expanded further when he connected with a channeler in 2022, leading to a strong bond with the Luminous Lord, a high being of light. Now, Sebastian channels to help others by providing profound insights and healing, working with various beings of light to guide and support his clients. Sebastian, it's so good to have you. Welcome.
Hello. I'm very glad to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
You're welcome. And I know that your mother tongue is Polish, obviously, but
Yes, it is.
you channel and you have clients both in English and in Polish, which you've just sort of expanded to. Tell us a little bit more about what you do these days in terms of your channeling and spiritual work.
A lot changed since last year, and it's still changing. And I have this deep feeling that at this moment, everything is about change because, even if I write something on my website, the next week it's not the most fresh news. So, as you said, I'm working with different beings of light. At the very beginning, with my channeling journey, I was mostly doing questions and answers, and a lots of information coming for people that were seeking for answers. And it's changed, of course. And it's still changing more towards energies. So there are lots of energy transmissions that are doing a lot of amazing things to people, and I am very grateful for that. And since December, there's a new possibility that has been opened for me, that I'm working not only with the beings of light and letting them speak through me or send energies through me, but I'm also working directly with the source. So there's something new opened, and now I'm able to transmit also energies directly from the source. And as people say, they're quite strong, quite intense, also doing amazing things. Of course, different for different people. It's feeling like amazing experience, amazing journey. I'm really happy with that.
Tell me, when you say it's changed, and we will probably come back to this a bit later, but when it's changed, I know that you were doing channeling sessions, like you said, question and answer. So you would be in a
Yes.
chat state, the person would ask something personal, and then you would channel the answer for them. And now you say you're doing more energy work, meaning you are transmitting energy, healing energy. What is that it?
It's very different because as it was said to me, I will meet people that I have to meet at the right time for them, and they will receive what they meant to receive. So what is proper for them at this very moment of time. So it's very different. It's very individual. But I am observing some, let's say, trends during the time. There was a time for healings. There was a time for some kind of clearings, cleansings of energies, of, energetic systems, of home energies, and so on. And for a few months or maybe over a year now, it's time for transformations, for opening new gifts, new possibilities for people. If someone is, let's say, a healer, like Reiki healer or some kind of working with energies, he's getting access to new frequencies. If someone was speaking something that, oh, sometimes I know what will happen. Now they know what will happen. And like next level, next level, next level. And with every session, there's next level or something new. Mostly now it's almost all about transformation. And it's, those stories when people are coming back with their stories after our sessions. Wow, that's something, that really makes it everything with this wow factor.
Amazing. Well, that's great. That is what we're needing, right? We need to actually walk the talk and see the results.
It's very meaningful because there's even this sentence from above, I have received it one time. Now it's no more about talking, it's about action. So that's why this, questions and answers have changed to those energy transmissions from various beings of light, even during one session.
It's kind of my saying as well. It's kind of what I say. It's time to walk the talk, right?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
don't
yeah,
need another
exactly.
documentary. We don't need another book. We know it's now. Let's do it. Let's do it. It's
Yeah,
about stepping up
that's
and
the
working
time.
on ourselves. And yeah, that's great. I'm very happy to hear that. It sounds very exciting. So we'd love to get to know you. I'd love to get to know you better. And I'd love to know more your spiritual journey from where you were a kid until you're today. And as you were saying, it's changing all the time, right? So if we look at Sebastian when he was a kid, can you maybe run us through your childhood and especially how you were feeling at that time?
Yeah, sure.
Any
Uh,
special connections that I guess other people.
I'm the one that is not seeing anything like, auras or beings or ghosts, but I was always jealous about it. But let's say about the good things. I always have this feeling that there's something more. And I was, very attracted to this world of energy. And when I was just few years old, I don't know why. I started to experiment, with placing my hands over something or somebody, and people were saying that they are feeling this, very pleasant warmth that is coming out from my hands, and that was something interesting for a child. And at some point, I asked my father to buy me this pendulum, and I've done a lot of experiments with, pendulum, and I'm asking questions, getting answers, and trying to figure out how it's all working. But this, let's say, serious work with energy started when my mother was diagnosed with cancer. I was 20 something at that point. As you can imagine, I really wanted to help her from the bottom of my heart. And I was trying to do everything to help her. And that's the big struggle. That's the big problem that I think many energy healers or workers are struggling with. That you really want to help, but sometimes there's no such possibility. Sometimes you even shouldn't try to help because it's not, you know, path of the person. Sometimes they are choosing to suffer. They are choosing their sickness, and you shouldn't disturb that. That's what happened to me. I was, trying to learn Reiki and other modalities, and there are many of them, really many, many of them, dozens, and nothing helped for my mother. For other people, yeah, but not for my mother, and it was really frustrating. So I was, searching for more, and it ended because I decided, okay, maybe that's not my path. That's not I should do. So I focus on other ways of self development and seeking other ways. And at some point, channeling started. I met an experienced channeler, and amazing things happened for me.
May I ask you, how long was that journey with you trying to help your mom? And did she pass away or
No, no, she's still alive, luckily, and she had second cancer, second type. She's still fighting, doing good, but without my help. And, I can just observe and be happy that she's fighting with good results. But there is no place for me as a healer along her side. So, yeah, that's, a tough lesson, really tough
Mm,
lesson. but I have accepted it. And now I don't have this strong need to heal everyone, help everyone. It's already, in the past. Now I'm always asking if we can help someone. And just when I'm receiving the answer, that's the start.
How did you know that it wasn't your place to help your mom? Was it merely the fact that you were trying lots of things and nothing was working? Or was there something that you eventually learned or something came to you that this wasn't meant to be? Because how would somebody else know that they shouldn't get involved? We all want to help generally.
It was something more. One thing is, as I said, nothing, really nothing was working. And at some point, she was really resigned that she said, okay, it's not working, stop that. And I was saying, Mom, I have something new. I have something. No, I don't want to. I have something new. No, I don't want to. And, few times more. And then I thought, okay, it's time to stop this twice. But the second thing was that I was always pursuing something more effective. And, when I was doing Reiki, I am now master degree Reiki. People, felt okay. They were smiling. They were saying, oh, it was awesome. Some minor healings occurred. But that was not enough for me, not enough. So another modality, a little bit better effects, and another, a little bit better effects. And at some point after workshops in Sweden from a guy from US, quite famous, but I don't know, want to mention names or this name of this modality. Results are, oh my God, they were amazing. Like Jesus Christ, bang, you are healed. Bang, you are healed. That was something. At that point, I had this feeling, oh my God, it's really happening. Yeah. But it started to change. And, when people were saying, oh, that was awesome. Wow, I'm feeling great. They started to say, I felt a little bit unsecured. It was, strange. I felt some kind of cold. I couldn't move. And, it started to exaggerate. It was bigger and bigger and more stressful and, like maybe dangerous. And I felt, I thought to myself, what's happening? Is it something wrong with this modality or
Yeah.
what's happening?
Is this when you were doing it on them or was this at the core?
On other people. Yeah.
But not you doing it, other people doing it to other people.
No. I was doing it to others. And at some point it was fine. It was like, as I said, Jesus Christ, bang, you are healed. And, sometimes it's getting strange.
Yes.
And it's really something wrong with that. And I wasn't sure if there's something wrong with this particular modality of energy healing, energy work, or is something more. And I have no idea what to do with that. So I stopped. And that was this me stopping doing all energy healing, helping others with energies and so on. And, it was a really tough lesson, but there was more of them.
In what year did that happen?
I've tried channeling after reading one book about channeling. It was nice till it wasn't. Against very strange, very, bad things happened, let's say. And I have discovered that when I was trying to do something with energies, to dive into energy world, and when I was reaching quite high levels, there was something trying to disturb me, to stop me. And whatever I tried, at some point, something, not really nice started to happen. And it was quite obvious that it's some kind of pattern that I felt that I'm being observed. And when I got too high, lower, not now. And that was really difficult. And it all changed when I started my journey as a channel a few years ago. Because since then, I can say I have very strong back. I have many beings inside me, around me. And yeah, it changed.
It sounds like you have had a lot of change and a lot of
Yeah.
experiences. So tell us about your channeling. You said you started channeling in 2022. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. What happened? How did you get into that?
We don't have much time, but trying to put in short, as I said, I met a very experienced channeler with, over 20 years of experience. And I started with individual sessions for me. And since the first session for me, because at those sessions, there are many beings of light are coming, like, those type of beings of light, they're saying something and there's a switch. There are another kind of beings coming and they're doing something, telling something, and there is a switch. And during one session, there are like 3 to 4 switches, let's say. So during the very first session, the beings of light, they stopped to address me as Sebastian, but they start to address me as Luminous Lord. And I was, what was that? And this channeler that was, doing the session for me was, what was that? That's the very first time in her, 20 years career. So we're really shocked. But at this first session, it was just a big surprise. And at the second or third session, at some point, appeared very, very bright being, and it said, I am Luminous Lord, and you have a mission here. And to fulfill this mission, you have to make bond with me. You have to agree for connection, for permanent connection. You have to allow to combine our consciousness and our energies. And, that was quite a interesting decision when something, is coming and saying that, okay, I will come to your body and you have to agree for that. I had to make a very fast decision, and it was one of the toughest in my life, as you can imagine, because it's quite an unusual situation. But, knowing this, my old background, I needed just a few seconds and it was, yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, let's do that. So there was a kind of, let's say, ritual of this connection. And he said through mouth of this channeler that the next session I will be channeling as equal. It didn't happen. Just the next session. But then on the third session, this Luminous Lord said something to me through the mouth of this channeler. And on, if I'm not wrong, on the fourth session, he started to speak through me. It was few sentences, but it began all our, this journey together. And then I was, working at home. There was this time of learning to speak because it was very interesting when you're allowing, being to speak through your mouth. It was very interesting and very funny process.
How was that at the beginning, like the first time that you allowed Luminous Lord through versus now? How has that changed? But what was it like that first time? What did it feel like?
Oh my God, it was very difficult because when he was talking at first, it was, word by word, sound by sound, and it was like swallowing, but in reverse action. It was like, "Whoop," and there was a word. "Whoop." It was very funny feeling. During the time, it was, more fluent and more fluent and more fluent. There was a second level, let's say, and a second very tough decision because he asked me if I let him to my mind. And that was, oh my God, will it be still myself? It was really, hard to process. But of course, I agreed. So it's changed for me that before that, when I wanted to get any kind of information, I had to ask aloud, and the answer was coming aloud through my mouth. And after accepting Luminous Lord to access to my mind, it changed, and I could ask in my, thoughts, and the answer was coming through my thoughts.
Yeah.
And then it was changing all the time. Then there was a possibility to transmit energies. Then Luminous Lord was inviting more and more beings to connect with me. Okay, there was also a time that he was just inviting other beings just for a session. He was creating, opening a special sacred space And the beings was coming inside the space and, answering the questions, sending the energies. And then it changed because now first I have connection with Luminous Lord. Then he brought another being and said, okay, that's the being you are meant to have this permanent connection with. So making this connection of consciousness, making these connections on energy levels. And there was a second being, and the third being, and the fourth being, and the fifth being, and so on and so on. They're like, I'm getting to 20, I think. And, it's funny because they're all here, like, they are listening like Google or Siri, and they're giving answers. And, they're present.
How do you know which being is there? And do they feel different one from the other?
How to say it shortly? I can switch between all those beings that they are inside me, like, switching channels on TV. I am just thinking the name of the being, and there it is. I made lots of experiments with people feeling energies, seeing energies, hearing energies, and they all confirmed that it's changing. That, oh, with that one you were green, and you are now golden with the crown, and now you are violet, and so it's really changing. We've tried a lot of things, to confirm that I am not getting crazy. And I don't have a split personality or something. So yeah, since now I have really many confirmations, and it's really relaxing for me.
And what is the difference between them? Like, would you say that one of them would answer something a specific
Yeah,
way or would
sure.
understand the concept, and the other one would be better for another concept?
If people have questions and are seeking for answers, the main partner for the talk is Luminous Lord. You can ask anything, every of those beings, but we are always starting with Luminous Lord. But when it's about energy transfers, I am at the very beginning of the session asking Luminous Lord what is prepared for this person for this moment. And I am getting answer that there will be energy transfer from this being, from this being, from this being, and from that being. In this very particular, order, because it's all prepared. And then I'm switching to the second being, and he or she is saying hello. This energy transfer will be about this and that, and it's supposed to do this and that to you. Do you
Mhm.
agree? Are you willing to accept it? And then the transfer begins. And there's another being, and it's also, doing this short intro. What is all of this about? Do you accept? And so on. Every energy transfer is for different purpose, but they're working together,
Yeah.
to make a better effect, let's say. And you ask, what's the difference? I have connection with Archangel Michael. He's doing mostly clearings. I have a connection with one of Anunnaki. He's trying to help our physical bodies to adapt to changes in energies. So if everything is safe, that physical body is able to hold all those new energies that people are getting or getting access to. So that's his main role. Or sometimes he's doing something with upgrading energy systems. I am working with Elohim. It's completely different because their energy transfer are split into many very short different transfers, like 5 to even 15 during one transfer. And every part is for something else. So it's it's really complex. But they're mostly working on this going up, energies up, frequencies up, opening to new possibilities and so on. So yeah, that's the difference, that like every being has a kind of is specialized in something working through me. And Luminous Lord pick this one for this session, and for the next session there will be this one and this one and this one. And it's changing. With every session, it's changing. So, as it was said, everyone is getting what they need to get at that particular moment.
And when you do these sessions, do you get drained or do you get energized?
Yeah, it changed. It changed. And it's also quite an interesting story because, after Reiki or other modalities, I felt really awesome after the session. I felt almost every time I felt better after the session than before. When I'm doing question and answers, it's completely neutral for me. It's like a talking, po prostu, while now, as we are speaking now. But with energy, when time was passing and those new entities and stronger energies and stronger energies and stronger and stronger and stronger, it was a little bit when you have a pipe and you are trying to send the water through this pipe and the water is under very high pressure. So sometimes I felt like this pipe because as for now, all those energies are being sent through me like informations. So I'm feeling this flow when there are like 5 energy transfers during one session. Yes, it's a little bit exhausting for me. But now it's better because for quite a long time, my face was responding to those frequencies that were sent to me. It was, behaving like, when you have earthquake and those, drawings or sound wave. So I was always laughing that if you stick some pen to my face and, go with this sheet of paper, there probably some kind of wave. And, it was like spasm convulsions. My whole face was moving and it was responding differently to different frequencies from different beings. I could tell what being it's sending energies, just feeling what is happening to my face. And yeah, it was also a little bit exhausting because, it was very, very intense. So at some point during one session, I thought to myself, "Oh my God, again my face. Okay, it's too much." And then a question appeared in my thoughts. Maybe you wanted to stop. And I said, "Yeah." And you know what? It stopped. And I was, okay, seriously. It was so easy. Yeah, and it didn't happen since then. So yeah, it's easier now.
Do you do any kind of protection? Because it sounds like there's a lot going through you.
Uh, you know, the safety is a very broad topic, but I've discussed it broadly with Luminous Lord, especially during this time when there is, for me, this time of cleansings. And, those cleansings are sometimes really, almost like exorcism. So, yeah. And my fiancée was a little bit afraid because I'm doing all those sessions online and, sitting in my bedroom like now.
Yeah.
So, she said, okay, you are, fighting with, let's say, demons sitting in our bedroom. And yeah, great that you are winning, but what maybe they want to come here and say something, not really good about this fight to you and maybe to me. So yeah, I agreed that is something worth discussing with Luminous Lord. And he said, yeah, you don't need to worry because people sometimes are using crystals, people are smoking Palo Santo, and so on and so on, and it's okay, you people, you think that you know what to do, but your human mind has all limitations and your wisdom is also very limited in this space. So I heard that I have quite important mission here. So he said everything is taken care of. Your mission is just transmit information, transmit energies. I am taking care of everything else. So as for now, it's working good. Nothing bad happened. Of course, I am always telling my clients, if you need, please, it's time for your intention. That's like for my highest good, from the highest source, only high energies, pure energies, and so on. But it's still just for the human mind because, as I was said, everything is safe and it's okay and it's like that.
Incredible. That sounds very cool. Do you see something in your future, a change ahead? How do you see you evolving?
Yeah, because it's amazing, and some part of those information are thanks to session swaps on Orykl. Thank you, Claudia, again. So I've heard during the session swap that you know because I'm struggling speaking other language, and beings are struggling even more because they have to, as for now, go through my mind, and it's already quite difficult, and then speak in another language. And some of them are speaking slower, some of them are speaking faster. Elohim are speaking the fastest. So when they're channeling English, they're we are really sorry. We are searching for proper word in Sebastian's mind.
Right.
And they are continuing. So that,
Yes.
but I've heard that it will change. It was said to me that I will be able to channel in any language. So probably it will not go through my mind. I'm really curious how it, will work. And I think it will be quite soon because other things that I've heard during those channelings are already manifested. Like those, as I said, it transfers directly from the source. So it's already part of my reality. I know that I will be working with groups, and it already started like last year, and the groups will be bigger and bigger and bigger. I was told that I have to work outside of Poland, and it already started. So yeah, I'm feeling that I'm the path. I'm not allowed as for now to go really into the details because it's something quite big, but it's not time for that. But I'm feeling that everything that I ever heard about my path as a channeler and my mission as a channeler is becoming reality.
Maybe to end off, what would you say is something that you would like everybody to know about themselves? And why do you think this would be important for people to know?
There is more than we know and then we can experience in this reality. There are many beings that are observing us, that want to help us, and they are helping us even if we don't know that. I don't know if it's liberating because some people are struggling with those questions: why I am sick, why I am, hurt, why I'm suffering, where is God? They don't know, they don't remember that for some reason, from the higher perspective, from the higher part of their being, they have chosen it. That's the part of their lesson. And it will end, and they will learn from that. And it is for something. It's not meaningless. It's not just by accident. It is for something. That perspective changed a lot in my life.
Absolutely. When we get to really understand that it's not that the suffering is gone, it's just it does take a different perspective. And we still suffer, we're still in pain, emotional, physical pain, but we don't hit rock bottom. I think when we know that there's a purpose behind it, we know that it's a wave we've got to ride and that, things will change and we will be stronger and better for it, right? So we are also here to have the experience as human beings. That's why I like the work that you do, the work that we all do at Orykl, which is teaching people about themselves and what this all is. And I think that it's not about, again, eliminating suffering. It's just about not hitting rock bottom and then even enjoying the adventure of that challenge, because it is a bit like a video game, right? It's a bit of an adventure
Yeah, exactly.
because we're here to be challenged and overcome and grow and learn.
And get stronger.
Get stronger for sure. Well, thank you for the work that you do. It sounds very exciting how things have changed. I know friends had sessions with you that speak very highly of it. And, I know that you're helping a lot of people. So it's really, really wonderful thing to do with our time and then with our gifts. So thank you. Are there any parting words or anything that you would like to leave the audience with?
Okay, thank you very much. And I'm really honored and I'm really glad that I was invited to this journey and that I'm able to do all those things because it's all, my dreams coming true. And I'm so grateful for that.
I
And
love.
that's it.
Thank you and well done for following your purpose, which it sounds like
Thank you very much.
you're doing. Thank you so much.